Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. We're just waiting for Ladonia to get here, and then we can get this show on the road. Road on the show?
Sorry.
Well, you were lost looking for relic vendors, so...
And then I hit exit instead of log out.
Oops. Good job.
But it's all ads right now anyway, at least for me. Nope, there it goes.
Well, I thought we were going to do Crystal Tower stuff tonight, but apparently we're in the middle of Hildebrand, so...
I had a feeling there was something else, I just couldn't remember what it was. I kept wanting to go straight to main quest, and I knew that was wrong.
Nope, not main quest. Not Crystal Tower. Hildebrand.
But we did him just earlier this week.
That was Frelia and Theron. I don't know what they're up to. They're being very strange. I mean, I got this weird postmark from the moon. How can that be? Yes, that is the correct answer. Oh god, it's Hildy.
Ah. Shades of Silda, that's right.
Philith? On behalf of the Sultan Sworn, your assistance with the murderer investigation is greatly appreciated. Leave the defense of the Royal Vault to us. Humphrey.
Gladly. A gentleman of light in the flesh. Hells, he's every bit as muscular and majestic as I remembered.
Ellie. He may have 1,000 faces, but with Inspector Berardian's demasking dusk, this masquerade will soon be over.
We can only hope.
And Hildy.
Come to accompany me on yet another chase, friend? I like your gusto. But if you're auditioning to be my assistant, I fear the role has already been filled most ably. Still, a gentleman welcomes the support of all his admirers. I shall henceforth name you thusly, Ladonia and Rena, my ever-loyal associates. And now, my ever-loyal associates, the investigation calls. I propose that we begin by inspecting the site at which the most recent victim met his demise. My questioning about the palace has revealed that the scholar's body was found not far from the 80 sons of Sasamo. I am not getting into his voice right. Even the most circumspect of criminals cannot help but leave behind clues. Clues that will not elude my gaze. Friends, let us be off. Pray alert me should you see anyone suspicious, my ever-loyal associates. We must put Miss Felice's demasking dust to good use.
If you say so.
So.
So?
So.
Okay, so we need to head to the 80 Sins of Sasamo. Clank, 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 clank. So, has anything actually happened today, short of us playing... Oh, Theron and Rylea and Talon and Action went in and actually did a few more rounds in Cinder Drift, and we finally got all our Gweebers! Woohoo!
Mm-hmm.
That means next week, we work on Memoria Miseria in hopes for a couple glams and mostly just a clear or two. And
Must we?
Yes, we must. Tay has never gotten the clear for that.
For the regular?
Memoria Miseria?
Yeah?
I don't think they ever got the EX clear.
Okay, EX. I don't have the EX clear.
Yes you do.
I'm pretty sure I don't.
I
I
think-
remember lots of miserable pulls. I don't remember any of them working.
We actually got the clear a couple times because that's how Theron ended up with an entirely dialable version of the Summoner set.
Pretty sure you
Or
went in
not
there
the
times I
summoner,
did
the,
not.
No, you got clear. I remember you getting a coronet for Paladin off of that.
Huh. I just remember lots and lots and lots and lots of death.
It was very miserable. Mr. Briardian?
Flowers. How intriguing. Flowers? Yes, it is all becoming clear now. Our phantom killer is a florist who, in his hurry to escape, carelessly mislaid his wares.
Just who do you think you are, eh? Eh? I'm the one who put those flowers there, eh? To honor me memory of me old poor boy. He dared defile his memory, eh? Eh?
1,000 pardons, my lady. Please accept my most sincere condolences on your loss. I am Hildebrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire. I swear to you, on my own dear mother's name, that your son's killer will be brought to justice. As I was just saying, these flowers were clearly placed here by the family of the deceased, which can only mean...
Leave this place. Run away while you still can. Run far, far away. Run, or he'll turn you into a zombie. Just like my poor, poor boy.
Zombie? A living person turned into a zombie? Nonsense.
Not nonsense, my boy. History. Or have you not heard the horrors of Sildeh? Ulda's sibling nation against which we waged wars centuries ago. Much blood was shed by both sides, aye. But I speak of far greater horrors than death. An unholy draught brewed by a Sildin alchemist, one with the power to turn living into the undead, that his nation might command an army of mindless, deathless soldiers, the traitors spurn. They turned my poor boy into a heap of rotting flesh and ran him through. But ye won't hear that from the Sultan sworn. Thal alone knows why, but they whisked the body away before I could so much as pay me last respects. The traitors spurn? I've heard the stories, but I never thought them to be true. To be able to procure such a frightening thing, just who are we dealing with here? A Sildin, I'm sure of it. Only a Sildin would know the recipe. But the last remnants of Sildin died 4 centuries ago, you say? Oh, they did. He calls himself the Phantom Thief, he does. But did he ever occur to ye that he might be an honest-to-good phantom? Eh? Here are the tales from my own great-great-grandma I did, about the 4 relics of Belda, and the power that they hold, the power to exact justice. A specter of Sildeh has returned to wreak havoc, to wreak vengeance upon us. Woe unto all. have 4 warriors of light forsaken us? My dear,
we've
dear
got 2.
boy. If only you'd become a traitor like your father. If only you'd kept your nose out of those history books and never so much breathed the accursed name of Silda. But you did, and now we're doomed. Doomed! Doomed!
Entirely there. That bleeding Orson's here somewhere. Can feel it in me follicles. Your follicles, huh?
Oh
Do
god.
you have any follicles?
It's the bald guy who they went to get the hair tonic for.
Yeah, I know.
And
yes!
Nashu's little stalker.
Yes! The most potent hair tonic the realm has seen. Aye, that it was. For all of a fortnight before my flowing locks fell out all over again. Just as I was chatting up a lovely young lass at the quicksand. Just to twist a knife in an extra elm. On the bank, charlatan. I'll find that so-called inspector and his Hareband. Pull every last strand of hair from their bleeding skulls. No, don't do that. Please.
Birdian, what do you make of all this?
Shades from Silda, living men turned to zombies. The old crone's lost not just her son, but her wits as well. Sibling strife. Hildebrand is onto something, or at least he thinks he is. It's all becoming clear to me now. That dear old woman's testimony has confirmed that which I had suspected from the start. Like a zombie picking away at its rotting flesh, Hildebrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, has peeled away the foul scab of uncertainty to reveal the truth within. You...
Oh, what do you expect from a zombie overlord?
Open your ears and feast your minds on the fruits of my flawless deduction. Our phantom thief is a phantom indeed, a wayward spirit caught between the realm of the living and the dead for nigh on centuries since meeting a tragic end on the battlefield. As such, our course of action is clear. We must placate this tortured soul that it might abandon its vengeful vendetta and travel to the next life in peace. But what is the true nature of the spectre's grievances? Without this knowledge, we cannot hope to assuage its rancor. Let us begin our search at the Thaumaturge's Guild. Doubtless the tomes there contain a wealth of knowledge on the ill blood between the sibling nations. Notwithstanding the abject stupidity of everything else that came out of your mouth, some knowledge of Silda might serve us well. Go research as you will, and do take as much time as you need. You can count on me, Inspector Briardian. Whatever knowledge is to be gleaned at the guild, it shall not escape my inspector's eye. I need more Briardian.
Yeah, sorry. Well, he's right here.
I'd be much obliged if you could keep him out of my way. I have some real investigating to do, and would prefer to be free of distractions.
Fair enough.
He is distracting.
Peeps wanted her toll and geishal greens. Or else she wouldn't clean up after this mess.
It is a mess.
And on to the Thaumaturgist Guild. Why is there a completion bang for Neko Neko? Neko, what do you got? Gods be good. You're the adventurers who
right.
saved me back in the ruins. Researching those ancient feud between Ul'dah and Sildeth, are you? Why, I'm not pleased to say I have more than a passing familiarity with ancient history. To understand the history of the sibling nations, must go further back still to the birth of their mother nation, Beldia. The fifth astral era was an age of untold wonders, when the arcane arts burgeoned and the great civilizations that commanded such powers flourished. This age of enlightenment would not last, however. Power bred avarice, and avarice bred resentment. It culminated in the War of the Magi, which brought the great flood of the Sixth Umbral Calamity, which in turn swallowed once proud nations and left barren wastelands in its wake. Mages were reviled and persecuted for having caused the catastrophe, which many forced to leave their homes or face death. It was a small band of those survivors that found their way to Thanalan, where they would found the nation of Belidea some 8 centuries agone. Ah, imagine a government of mages, by mages, for mages! What wonders might have been wrought had Belidin's civilization survived to this very day. Alas, it was not to be.
Thank you for that refresher course.
So Belidea actually post-dated the Magus War between Mahak and Andapur.
Yeah.
And the poor Tonberries and the floating city of Nim got caught in between.
You don't say. It's not every day someone comes to our halls to research Sildeth. As a fellow student of history, though, I more than welcome the conversation. Beladian civilization flourished in relative peace until twin sons were born to the royal family. The two were fierce rivals, and when they came of age and their father passed, each one claimed that he was the rightful heir to the throne. With neither son willing to relinquish his claim, they agreed to split their kingdom in two, forming the twin nations of Ul'dah and Sildeth. But not unlike the two proud princes, the sibling nations developed a penchant for rivalry.
Hello, Octi. Hello, Foxfire.
So, Hildy, you keeping up with this? Knowledge is power, and surely our thaumaturge friends have a wealth of knowledge in on the feud between Ul'dah and Sildeth. Let us begin our inquiry.
Already ahead of you.
That doesn't take much.
Yeah, Roko?
I think that's me.
Yeah, I think that's you.
Greetings, traveler. Would you learn of the war between Ul'dah and the fallen Sultanate of Sildeth? It would be my pleasure to enlighten you. The two city-states coexisted for several generations until the bad blood between them boiled over, culminating in outright war. As you might deduce from the present state of affairs, Ul'dah emerged victorious, leaving its once proud sibling nation in smoldering ruins. As the histories tell it, the battles fought between the sister nations were the stuff of nightmares. In a desperate attempt to overcome Ul'dah's superior numbers, Sildin alchemists devised a most horrific stratagem. Employing a frightful formula known as the Traitor's Spurn, they brought their fallen warriors back as undead soldiers. Some theories have it that they even employed the potion on those of the living who were too weak or wounded to fight. Sends shivers up the spine just thinking about it, no? It is truly a crowning glory of our fair nation that our forebears were able to emerge victorious against these horrors.
And who else are we missing? Oh, look, it's Kokobushi.
Kokobuki. Who else would it be? What's that you say? You seek knowledge of the bad blood between Ul'dah and Sildeh? I suppose I can spare a moment or two, but take good notes. I'm not fond of repeating myself. 2 scales, one of gold and one of silver. The gold of Ul'dah weighing prosperity and power, the silver of Sildeh weighing knowledge and power. You taking notes for when we do the variable dungeon?
Yep, got him right here.
But the power sought by the 2 nations differed greatly. Yes, greatly indeed. The power wrought by Ul'dah prosperity was that of justice and in good, while the power wrought by Sildeh knowledge was horrific beyond belief. The power to rip the living soul out of a man and render him a mindless killing machine. In this matter, the histories are clear. Riddle me this, my friend. Who writes the histories, and what does this say of the words writ within? Yes, truth can be elusive and fickle as the shifting sands. As one example, did you know that in the war against Sildeh, Ul'dah and Amalja warriors fought side by side? Likely you did not. Neither did I until I encountered a faded passage in an ancient text buried deep in our archives. And yet, in the histories read by the populace, you will see no mention of this most fascinating fact. Might it be that someone at some time deemed this particular truth less than convenient? But I have said enough already. I had completely forgotten about that.
Yeah, me too. Hello, Life Swing.
And the fact that they actually introduced you to that this early. Their writer's Bible must be something else again.
They've made sections of it public. It's up to volume 4.
I know. I am tempted to get the Encyclopedia Eorzea. So, Hildy, how's your note-taking? My ever-loyal associates, tell me, what have you learned from your questioning of the scholars in these halls? More than you?
Yeah, we learned that Amalja and Ul'dah actually fought side by side.
Indeed. As it happens, I have learned much the same. Let us take a moment to review and allow my peerless powers of deduction to work their magic. A war of succession divides the great civilization of Belladia, giving rise to the sibling nations of Ul'dah and Sildeh. The 2 nations coexist for some generations until ill blood boils over, culminating in outright war.
Yeah,
Daunted by Ul'dah's superior military might, Sildeh employs their advanced alchemical knowledge to horrific ends, transforming their own citizens, alive and dead, into a fearsome undead legion. You should know all about those. Yes, I believe I have it. The facts at hand lead me to one unassailable conclusion. Our phantom thief is a descendant of doomed Sildeh, who seeks vengeance against those who reduced his countrymen to slavering zombies. To pacify his soul and send him peacefully to the next world, there is but one course of action. We must find the Sildin statesman who conceived this dreadful stratagem and have him apologize to the thief in person for the suffering he has wrought.
But that's dreadful stratagem. Statesman would have been dead for several hundred years now.
A brilliant plan. Perhaps you'd like to go find yourself a shovel and dig the statesman out of his grave yourself.
Thank you!
Leaving aside this nonsense of spirits and specters, it appears increasingly likely that our quarry shares some link to Sildea. His garish garb is no doubt meant to evoke the silver scales of the fallen sultanate. The Silden connection would also serve to explain the rare knowledge of Beladian relics our thief clearly possesses. But what of the murder victims? What common thread amongst them could have incurred the ire of our adversary?
A few people in town spoke of a man sighted calling upon the victims in past days. Those who saw him said he had the most frightening air about him.
Wait, yes, it's coming to me! Of course! My keen investigator's senses ring out with a voice loud and clear. This man Miss Ellie speaks of, he might just know something. One of the card facepalm coming up. You really should stop thinking so hard. You're likely to strain a brain muscle. Miss Ellie, who is this man, and where might we find him?
My sources identify the man as Eorzea, a traveling merchant known to frequent Horizon. Shall we pay him a visit?
Don't not.
Okie dokie! Off to Horizon! Zoom? Zoom zoom?
And hi Octi, hi Live Suing, hi Doodles.
Hi.
Exactly. Oh, Live Suing, if only Columbo would show up. There was a great post on incorrect Final Fantasy quotes some time ago that I did not share.
Hey, Caredwin!
Oh my!
Welcome
Yes,
to
honey.
welcome to the insanity that is the Hildebrandt quest line.
Yes.
One thing about this game is it gets very serious in several locations, and then you have the palate cleanser that is Hildebrandt.
Oh boy, yes.
And let's be honest, the latest expansion needed a palate cleanser.
Oh yeah.
But yes, we have our buttons. They are slowly making their way through AR plus patch content.
Okay, we are in 2.5.
Yeah, we're not that far away from the... Would it be considered the first or second expansion?
First expansion.
First expansion, yeah.
This isn't an expansion, it's just a whole new game.
Hello, Hildebrandt.
My keen instincts tell me that Master Gugurea's testimony will be a key to monumental breakthrough in our investigation. Yes, I shall employ the ancient Manderville Act of Parley to skillfully extract the information we require.
Oh, this should be good.
Now, hold on a moment. We need to parlay the chocobos. There.
They having the, I want to exist in this exact coordinate space dance again?
Yeah, they were having their dominant stance. Yes, if you've got business, make it quick. My time's too valuable to waste chatting with every stranger who passes by.
Forgive us, good sir. My name is Ellie, a reporter with the Mithril Eye. Never blinking, all-seeing, you know the rest. I was wondering if we could trouble you with a few questions.
Was it for love or money that you killed them? Yes, you, the thief of many faces.
What? Really?
Me? A thief? What is this nonsense? I don't know who you are, but I ain't got the time or patience for this mummery. Now, if you'll excuse me, an important client awaits. I thought I recognized that voice.
Oh!
Oh, sorry.
That was me. Sorry.
Yes. Not who I was expecting. I wouldn't call her refined.
She tries to be refined. She isn't.
No, and especially not in the way she speaks either. Lady Durilda, well met indeed. Pray tell, whatever brings you to these unfriends this fair morning?
Why? I live here, you hammerhead halfwit. Inspector Baradian, this is an unexpected pleasure. Do you have some business with my associate here, pray tell? Guguria, we can discuss business afterwards. Pray lend the inspector here, the handsome one, whatever assistance he requires.
But Lady Durilda, what about...
Yes, my dear Maria's name day present. I had in mind one of the prize pieces of Ishtaim's latest seasonal collection. You would be able to procure one for me, yes? Or shall I eliminate the middleman and make the trip to Ul'dah myself?
She'll do it.
I'll say this once more, Jujuria. I expect you to give the inspector and his companions your full assistance. They, yes, even the stupid one, helped me regain something truly priceless. Yes, something more valuable than any mere trinket.
The fact that she's able to say that now.
Yeah.
So, as we were discussing. Alright, I'll tell you what I know, but you didn't hear it from me, got it? I was looking into the killing on behalf of a client of mine. The thief's got himself some of that zombie dust. The trader's spurn, was it? And his cards speak of 5 victims. It got me to thinking. Still there? 5 victims? Aye, the arbiters of truth. Well, this didn't come up in our history lesson. The Arbiters of Truth. I'm not familiar with the name. Aye, few would be, on account of them being something of a secret society and all. Influential personages of the Sultanate, you see, working from the shadows to keep false knowledge about the Ul'dah conflict from reaching the ears of folk like you and me. False knowledge? Pray tell, just what sort of knowledge might that be? Those balls don't make me say no more. I've got a family to feed. Very well. Just tell us one last thing. Who hired you, and where can we find him? Hob. His name's Hob. When he heard what I said, he told me that he was going to set sail for Lemza with his 5 best sellswords to guard his back. Said there were many prying eyes at the airship docks. Said he had a private ship docked and waiting for him at Vesper Bay. But don't remember, you didn't hear none of this from me. This man Hob must be one of the killer's agent and targets. Doubtless, he also knows the identity of the remaining one. I doubt that. They say the arbiters are so secretive, they don't even know each other's true identities. Now, don't ask me how all that works, but... Hobbs got high-ranking friends in the Brass Blades. Once he heard the victims had all been zombified, he panicked. Guess he knew that he'd be next. Thank you very much, my kind sir. Once again, the ancient Manderville art of parley has procured for us a key morsel of knowledge. Let us seek out this hob fellow and see what he can share with us. And let us hurry. That man's life is in danger even as we speak.
Yes, run, little merchant, run! Oh, sorry. Hildy?
I would hear what this hub fellow has to say. Come, my ever-loyal associates. Let us away to Vesper Bay with all speed. Yes, all speed. Come on, Eorzea.
Quack! There, all speed.
Mm-hmm.
All feathers engaged.
Feathers to speed, beak to power.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Oh no! I got dumped into city, it dismounted me, and therefore, before you could hit the cinematic, it teleported you back to the closest Aetheron. Sorry, blame Eorzea, she shouldn't have flown that.
Well then. I know when I'm not wanted.
I'm sorry. I totally forgot about that. It's been how long since we've done these initially?
Yeah, and they hardly ever throw these at you these days. Okay.
Master Hob, is everything all right?
No, stand back, Ellie. Hunger. I hunger for your brains. Smart Chocobo. Smartest one here. Damn, there's no saving the man. Ladonia, Rena, do what you must.
Woohoo! This means I
Should
can
we have
punch things?
Zombie Brand do something about this?
I don't get to punch things.
No, you did. You just did it while the lights were out. Yes, my first-hand knowledge of zombies tells me this particular shade of green is unmistakably that of the undead. It would seem we were a few moments late to the scene.
You think? A message. And then there was one.
There it is again.
Something the matter, Inspector?
Indeed, Nashu, there is. Ever since I picked up the trail of the Phantom Thief, I've had this fleeting sense. A sense that someone, or something, is watching us.
The thief may be close at hand. We should be careful.
For the moment, let us return and report our findings to Miss Felice. Secret society or no, knowing the identities of its members may yet lead us to the final victim.
I, too, had best return to the Mithril Eye. Let's meet up again. I'll see what new clues I can uncover in the meantime.
You will do nothing of the sort, Miss Ellie. These streets are far too dangerous for you to walk alone.
Inspector! I'll go with her!
If you insist, Nashu, then I give my leave. But pray be wary, not just of the thief, but of Miss Ellie. She has quite the temper, as we both know. Miss Ellie, there is something I must tell you when this case is over. Be safe, and promise me that you will not attempt anything rash, as you did that time when the fiend took aim at my own life.
Your life, Costa del Sol. Yes, that was quite an ordeal, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
I'll be careful. I promise. I eagerly await the day where I might hear what it is you would share with me.
A secret vow. Oh-ho! Consider my interest piqued as well, good inspector. Now, let us be off. Miss Felice awaits our report.
I like how everyone just kind of looks away, including you.
Yes. Yes. No, nothing being hidden here. No, never.
Why is there a blue bang? Oh, Weaponsmith a legend. Yeah, we're not touching that one with a 10-foot pole. Sorry, 10-yalm pole.
I don't think I want to touch it with a 10-yalm pole.
It's actually a fun quest line, but it is so long.
Yes.
And grindy. Oh, my eye is twitching just thinking about it.
The definition of grindy.
A little. Let's see, where was the Scholar's Walk? Oh, that's right. It was over by the Alchemist Guild.
Right.
Back into the warren that is Ul'dah!
The anthill that is Ul'dah.
One thing that has never been explained lore-wise that I've seen is why the rulership of Ul'dah traded from the Ul family to the Thorn family and then back to the Ul family.
I think they've gone into pieces of it, but it would take some doing to find it again.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Because, of course, the Thorns were Hjor, and the Uls, of course, are Lalafell.
Yes.
Yep, back at the Sultan's Sworn. Humphrey?
Some shifty-looking fellow was eyeing the vaults before, but he took off faster than a fleeing cactar as soon as my gaze met his. Aye, just like I cowed many a Gurlian on the plains. It's you. Yeah, it's us.
You are still spilling those lies?
I don't think he knows how to stop.
No. Oh, he does not.
Oh, shoot.
You skipped the
I
bubble?
forgot to check Hildebrand.
Ah. You can read my screen?
Maybe?
Maybe?
It would help if the ad wasn't up.
Oh. Silly Twitch ads.
Which is making it shrink. The news of Hobbs' death will not sit well with Miss Felice, but a gentleman must do what a gentleman must do.
A fourth victim? Fall have mercy. Were you able to glean aught of the connection to the other victims? The arbiters of truth? No. It cannot be. Somebody help! Miss Ellie, that voice came from the direction of the vault. We must hurry.
Guardian sure took off. Miss Ellie, are you hurt?
That man. I only thought to ask him a few questions before I knew what was happening. He was upon me. I could only...
Bash his brains with a conveniently placed bottle of mead, it would seem. Ha! Remind me not to get on your bad side, Miss Ellie. That said, is Nashu not with you?
She saw a figure lurking in the shadows and went off to pursue it before I could stop her. This man wears the armor of the Sultan's sworn squire, yet the face is unfamiliar to me. Something is amiss. The thief of many faces. To think we could find her man like this.
Trace, and again did the fiend elude our grasp, but no more. By virtue of a gentleman's ingenious deductions and a lady's pugilistic puissance, I declare this case closed. I return the sachet to you, Miss Felice. Whilst the gesture was appreciated, in the end it proved superfluous to my cracking of the case. While you're at it, is there anything else of immense value that you'd like to wantonly destroy?
What? What is the meaning of this?
Ingenious. A double disguise, planted by the thief to throw us off his trail, no doubt.
This is Guing, one of my most capable men. I assigned him to guard the vault and outfitted him with an ample supply of demasking dust. It is inconceivable that the thief could easily elude his grasp.
Unless the thief was not wearing a mask. Speaking of which, has anyone seen Miss Ellie? No. That's impossible. Of course, it all makes perfect sense. With the Phantom Thief to thank for her burgeoning readership and rise through the ranks of the Mithril Eye, Miss Ellie could not bear to face the possibility of her story of a lifetime coming to an end. Thus, she hatched a plan to... My lady, the vault's been breached. The wise man's whisper is gone.
For her foul crimes against the Sultanate, I hereby declare Ellie of the Mithril Eye, the thief of many faces, an enemy of the state. Deploy all troops and do not rest until she is in custody. And now
the game is truly afoot. Bah! What is the meaning of all this racket and rumpus? Just as we were about to make our triumphant return. Isn't that so, Enkidu? Thank you, Greg. It's just not Hildebrand without Greg.
No, it's not. Miss Ellie! Miss Ellie! The shadow you saw? I think it was just a dormouse. To think he'd literally stumble face first into a second mask. Good fortune truly knows no end. But do not worry. Yes, I dare say the Phantom Thief has another trick or two up his sleeve.
Dun, dun, dun.
Burden?
When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable...
How could we have been so blind?
Beneath the mask. Not even the shockingest turn of events will deter the famed agent of inquiry.
Oh, he's famed now.
Oh, yes. In his own head.
That much is true.
My ever-loyal associates, we must find Miss Ellie, and quickly. Surely, if confronted by her constant companions, she can still be convinced to abandon this fool plan. Oh, Miss Felice, I thought you had already departed in the company of your men. But all for the better. Shall we conduct the search together?
I fear I would only put them at greater risk. You see, the fifth and final member of the Arbiters of Truth, the Phantom Thief's final target, is none other than...
Hildebrand.
me.
Yes.
Mind you, it is not a role I sought of my own accord. My name and my passion for history are somewhat well known in the Sultanate. One day I received an anonymous letter stating the position for the committee had opened and I had been chosen to fill. The letter went on to enumerate my many duties. To prevent... Thump, 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 thump.
Hmm?
Or it's not the man behind the curtain.
Baron's stepping outside to do something and
Don't crash.
it's picking up slightly on my... So I'm having fun at his expense.
Be quiet.
You're okay, dear.
Stealth.
I love you.
Stealthy.
To prevent the spread of historical lies that would sully the name of our illustrious nation. As a high-ranking officer of the Sultan Sworn, I was deemed to be a particularly unique position to serve as an arbiter. I knew that there were other members of the organization, but was told nothing of their names or identities. I think that my unknown compatriots were victims all along. I cannot put any more lives in danger. I sequester myself in the place where my presence can cause no harm until such time as the killer is apprehended.
Your concern for our well-being is most touching, Miss Felice, but there is no need for such caution. As a seasoned inspector, I am more than capable of protecting a lady in distress, and as a gentleman, that is exactly what I shall do. My associates here also stand at your side. Speaking of which, has anyone seen my loyal assistant?
Inspector, over here!
Ah, there you are, Nashu. You really shouldn't run off on your own like that. I was worried sick about you.
I'm sorry, Inspector. Miss Ellie said she saw somebody in the shadows, so I went to take a look. Now, there wasn't anything there but a dormouse, but there was this really cute dormouse, you see? It just squeaked and scurried away, and I just...
pardon me for a moment, Nashu. Yes, my inspector sense speaks to me. Someone is watching us, Ladonia, Rena. Let us split up and canvass our surroundings.
Squeak, squeak.
Squeak, squeak.
Where is Miss Ellie? Do you think she went looking for the dormouse too?
Apologies, Ladonia, Rena, but I require a moment alone with my thoughts.
I cannot allow my presence to be put. I cannot allow my presence to put my men in danger. Oh, look! A water-stained piece of parchment! I wonder what it says.
Water-stained letter lies conspicuously on the floor. Be wary and be warned. Okay.
Oh, there's another one over here.
Trust no one, and your friends all the less.
Ooh, spooky.
Sack this time. This will avail you well. Use it wisely. You obtain a sachet of demasking dust. In the next instant, you feel an intimidating presence behind you.
Who's behind us?
Yeah, that's intimidating.
Ah!
Oh ho ho! If it isn't my beloved sun-staunch companion, the mighty Ladonian Rena. I was in the area on a matter of business, which I curtailed when I felt a suspicious presence from the shadows. Pursuing it led me here. Mayhap it is the same for you?
Not quite.
Yeah. Step back, get some personal space. Oh ho! So your pursuit of the thief of many faces is taking quite the unexpected turn. And now you've come upon a series of anonymous letters? Mayhap our watcher in the shadows is a friend. Or this is but another trap laid by the fiend. Yes, the plot thickens like a dollop of salamander oil. Oh, don't talk about that stuff. In either event, I dare say the circumstances call for utmost caution. The thief could be anywhere, or anyone. Myself excluded, of course. No mere mask could replicate the physique of this Manderville man.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold it to that.
That said, I fear my dear Hildy may be in a bit over his head this time. Allow me to assist in your investigation. Were anything to happen to Hildebrand, his dear mother would, not be pleased. Note for the future, he seems intimidated by his wife.
Just a little. Hold on. Behatted Sprat.
Something just isn't right.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little freaky.
I cannot. Okay, same as before.
Yeah, okay. Guardian.
Same.
Yep.
Ashu. Same.
Me.
Hello, Godbert.
If the sender speaks true, the villain even now lurks within our midst, and yet we have but a single sachet of demasking dust at our disposal. We must identify the imposter beyond reasonable doubt before we proceed. You know the players better than I, Ladonia. What say you have a few words with each of them and see if aught seems amiss?
Let's start with Felice. I am doomed to share the same fate as the others. I'd sooner die than become one of those things.
Miss Ellie is the Phantom Thief, is the only logical conclusion. And yet, I cannot help but feel that another truth still evades us.
Inspector Baradian told me all about it. Who'd have thought Miss Ellie was the Phantom Thief all this time? She sure fooled me. Hello, Ace.
Yeah, live streaming, that's just the way Godbird rolls. And hey, Ace.
Let's be honest, he's more clothed than we're normally used to seeing him, so...
Yes, yeah, I will take what favors I can get. Godbird in small clothes is far more disturbing than unicorns in bicycle shorts.
Yes!
Nothing particularly odd about any of them, you say. Stands to reason. The Fiend would not take such a risk if he were not utterly confident that he could pull off the ruse.
Curses! This one's not half the fool his son is. I must elude him, and quickly, time is of the essence.
Very few people are half the fool that Hildebrand is. I question the Sultan sworn outside. To a man, they insist they have seen naught of Miss Ellie. Wherever could she have gone? Father! What brings you here? Yes, finally the pieces are coming together. Now, if you'd kindly stand still and shut up. The Fiend already stands among us. Inspector Briardian! I hope you are not doubting me. While I'm quite convinced that even a master impersonator would struggle to recreate your particular brand of idiocy, the fact remains that anyone here who spent even a moment alone must be considered a suspect. The thief has proven to be highly efficient at assuming new identities. An astute observation, my gangly friend. I'd say this occasion calls for a dose or two of that powder Ladonia and Rena here found earlier. There wouldn't happen to be another sachet or two lying about, would there?
What remains of our supplies has already been distributed to the search party, but worry not. They should be reporting back within a bell's time. Ha! Time might be against me, but just you watch. I'll wiggle my way out of this and turn you into a reeking, drooling corpse you deserve to be.
I fear that this is more time than we can afford. Miss Felice, fortunately, my powers of deduction will lay the Fiend's face bare within minutes. We know that, given the choice, the thief prefers to impersonate familiar personages. As Miss Ellie has had only passing interactions with my dear father, we can safely eliminate him from consideration. This is actually true. That leaves myself, Nashu, Ladonia, and Rena here. Nashu and I, in particular, have had a close and extended relationship with our suspect. I shall begin by questioning mine own assistant. I assure you that none know her better than I.
Brilliant reasoning as ever, Inspector. Go on, ask me anything. Of all the times for this overstuffed buffoon to start talking sense, if he asks me anything too obscure, my cover is as good as blown.
My relationship with Nashu is so close, I dare say at times it is as if we share a mind. If this Nashu is truly my ever-loyal assistant, I should have no trouble completing. She should have no trouble completing my thoughts. Ahem. I am a Manderville.
Man!
Doing what only a Manderville.
Can!
From the peaks of Corythus to Thanalan, Manderville.
Man! You're the best, Inspector!
A perfect score. You may rest easy, my dear friends. This is unmistakably, unequivocally, indubitably the true Nashu.
I've never loved you more than now, you marvelous muttonhead, you.
Nashu? Is something the matter? Just because you've picked up a few more wrinkles beneath the eyes, there's no need to avert that charming face of yours.
Wrinkles? Wrinkles? Who are you talking, you crusty, Cretaceous old... Genius Inspector?
What a way to blow your cover. The charade is up, Miss Ellie. Miss Ellie, you look somehow different? Well then. So the letter spoke true. The fiend was in our midst all along. My prodigious powers of deduction scream out to me. This woman knows something.
You think?
Thank you, Hildy. Another two-layered mask, mayhap. But no. This woman bears a striking resemblance to Miss Ellie.
I was all but certain that Ellie was our thief. What is the meaning of this? Yes, Hurrain woman, what is the meaning of this?
Truths untold. Who is this unfamiliar woman, and what secrets does she hold?
Seven hells. Done in by a muscle-bound muttonhead and his motley troop of mummers.
Just who are you? Your resemblance to Miss Ellie is most uncanny, and yet...
Consulting Inspector Briardian. Once again, you fail to measure up to your loftiest reputation. Of course we resemble each other. Ellie is, after all, my own flesh and blood, my beloved sister, and my immediately capable partner in crime. 1,000 faces I might wear, but only one name do I bear. You can call me Sassy. Charmed, I'm sure. Are you quite all right? Why, you look as if you've seen a ghost. Despite my moniker, I assure you that Ellie and I are not specters. What we are, mind you, are the last living scions of the Silden aristocracy. Bemused, are you? Befuddled to find two sisters behind the mask? Try using your brains once in a while. Every time you encountered the thief, Ellie was standing right in your midst. No, the thief was 4 times stole the show. Oh, and those priceless relics was me. Meanwhile, Ellie hid in plain sight, supplying me with just the knowledge I need to stay one step ahead of my pursuers, all the while spinning the hair-raising tales of my exploits that won the hearts of the nation. I owe you a I owe a lot to you, truly. Why, without the tales of your hapless attempts to catch me, we would have never risen to the heights of celebrity.
Miss Ceci, from a gentleman to a lady, I would ask you one thing, and one thing only. Just what is it that you and Miss Ellie hope to accomplish with all of your schemes?
Justice. 400 years ago, Old Don dogs reduced the great nation to a nation of zombies. At long last, the cowards that would still justify their foul deeds will suffer the same fate.
Wait, the histories say it was Zilde that turned their own men into zombies.
The histories lie, and you work for the shadows, silencing those who would speak the truth. You should have died with your fellows, false arbiter. It was Old Daw that ordered the creation of the dreadful powder. It wielded it as a weapon against and wielded as a weapon against our proud ancestors. The history of your glorious sultanate is built on a lie.
What is this madness you speak, woman?
Not madness, truth. The power in my possession was stolen from the Old Dawn Armory 4 centuries ago by one of my ancestors. They say it was his final act of courage, in the moments before his leg fell off and his rotting head dropped from his shoulders.
You...
This is the truth that the histories don't tell. The truth that the doe-eyed Sultan Sworn would kill to keep buried in the sands of Thanalan. But your time of reckoning is nigh. Oh yes, before long you and everyone in this rotten nation will know firsthand the horrors my ancestors knew.
And just what do you mean by that?
Oh, how the idiot laps up the stories. A masked crusader of justice, a dashing rebel waging battle against the power and authority. Oh, if only they knew. But they will see soon enough, when they're eating each other's brains out in the streets. In the last days before our proud nation was razed to the ground, a band of final survivors stole the vast quantity of powder from the Old Dawn vaults and hiding it away in a secret vault sealed with the powers of magics. The stolen means by which the vault may be opened? By assembling the 4 secret relics of Belda. 4 relics once housed in the royal palace of Silde before Old Dog stole them and claimed them for their own. And so it dawns upon you at last. Even as we speak, Ellie makes for the vault, the 4 relics safely in hand. Just think, one day you'll be able to tell your grandchildren you were there when the zombie powder rained down on Old Daw. No, wait. You'll all be dead!
Preposterous.
But first, you, my dear, you will not even have the pleasure of looking upon the last moments of your precious homeland. Let your flesh rot like all your rotten lies.
I think not, Miss Ceci. Hildebrand.
You idiot. Just for once, could you not get in the way of things? God, Bert Mandreville! I can't even trust your sorry ass to look after him for a day.
I knew it. That presence watching over us from the shadows. It was you, my dear wife.
Oh dear, the fact that he's scared.
Now that's a leap. Ahem. Am I to understand that you're Hildebrand's mother? Aye, this is more like it. Hand to hand, skillet to skillet. It's enough to send a warrior's pulse racing. Prepare yourself, Frenna and Ladonia. The time of our final confrontation is nigh.
Really? Right now? You want to throw hands right now?
Never mind.
Do ye have potatoes for brains, you overstuffed buffoon? My beloved boy's turned into a sinking corpse, and ye hadn't a bloody noticed? You, Rena, Ladonia or something, was it?
Why is she looking at us?
Hildy told me all about your hijinks together. Pleased to meet ye.
Charmed.
My boy's always had a bit of a restless... My dear boy's always had a bit of a rebellious streak. What can I say? I can come on a bit too strong at times.
That's what you call this.
But you can't blame me. This time I thought I'd sit back and leave things to my sorry-assed husband here, and look what it got me. You'll help me out, won't ye?
Uh-huh. And that Foley. And Ace Moon, yes, well, this Hildebrand stuff is very much like that, yes.
Guardian.
I dare say it's quite clear who wears the pants in the family, so to speak.
Yeah. Inspector Hildebrand's mother? Yeah, hi miss. Hi nice lady. What can we do for you? Reunited with my dear boy for the first time in ages, and just look at him. He's green. Fortunately, there's still time to reverse the zombie curse, and I know just the remedy. A vial of holy water. The ingredients are simple. A tatter of oversoul rags, a vial of twice distilled water. Singot in the markets has the former, and the latter you can produce from a trader by the name of Guest. Now hurry! Once the poison spreads through his veins, no antidote will save him.
In the meantime, I will search for the Bumbler's bumbling assistant. With any luck, Miss Nashu is still alive. Well, he pulled himself out of the wall fast. Ouch, that smarts. Egats, Hildy, you're looking none too hardy yourself.
No thanks to you, you bumbling oaf. Now, ye get to accompany Rena here and make yourself useful, or do I have to introduce you to that wall?
But of course, my lady, Gilgamesh is ever at your service. Since centuries was it? Come now, Ladonia, Rena, there's work to be done. Far away from her.
Phyllis is the same. A piece of oversold rag from Singoth's sundries, and a bottle of twice distilled water from the trader Guest. Now hurry, goddammit! My dear boy's life is at stake.
I'd ask why she can't do it herself, but I'm scared too.
Mm-hmm. I'm just wondering where Guest is hiding. Guess we go down and see what happens. Oh, but okay, we have to do it in order. We can't just pick up
Yes,
two
we do.
items.
I'd forgotten how long this part of the story is.
Yeah, and we finally get to meet Mrs.
Manderville.
Manderville.
Yeah.
I like it in their live letter that was last Thursday or Friday morning. They actually made a crap of why do all the tool and weaponsmiths have to like be naked?
Yes. Oversold rags, you say? I fear I've only a single tatter left in stock, and it's already been spoken for. But my good man, you must reconsider. My dear friend's life, and quite possibly my own as well, hangs in the balance. I sympathize with your plight, friend, but a man has to make a living. I've been promised a copious supply of rare chimera membrane for these rags. Unless you can offer me the same, no deal. Ah, you expect us to be able to summon such a rarity out of nowhere at a moment's notice. Me, I think?
No, I think it's me.
Okay.
Well, what do we have here? If it isn't the Warriors of Light from the Colosseum. Funny who you meet at the markets.
Oh, okay. You're looking well.
As it happens, I'm just returning from my training, and the slaying of 10 chimeras just happens to be my task for the day. If it's chimera membranes you seek, you're more than welcome to share.
Well, isn't that convenient? My lady, you're far too kind.
Don't mention it. If it hadn't been for Inspector Hildebrandt and Rena and Ladonia here, I'd still be tag teaming with that slimy beast and cheating my way to fame and fortune. I'm a woman who pays her debts.
I'll take me if that wasn't the Villa of the Tempest. Ever since she confessed to her trickery and started climbing back up from the bottom of the ranks, I've been proud to call myself one of her biggest fans. Why, I've half a mind to give you the eggs you seek simply for the privilege of meeting her.
How convenient.
A kind sentiment, my good man, but we're more than happy to uphold our side of the bargain, aren't we, Ladonia? With this, our task here is done. Now, let us find this traitor named Guest. He has the oddest posture.
He's Gilgamesh. What do you expect? And back up to Hustings Strip. I can read these words, even though they're very tiny and blue and kind of wiggly on my screen. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yep, this way will work.
Ooh, Pokeball.
Hi, Jinlins! Oh, is someone
Hi, Jinlins.
Pokeballing?
Yeah,
yes, he is
back there.
Pokeballing. I'm sorry, little Lalafell. No one deserves the Pokeball.
Hi, Greg.
Gist.
The plundering Manderville boy is on his last legs, and you need something of mine to save him, you say? Huh. Perhaps you can give me a good reason why I should care. Those bloody Mandervilles are richer than the traders themselves, yet they have the audacity to haggle me down to my last gill for every purchase. If the family line ended today, I'd be a happier and wealthy man. And now, I believe the ballroom calls. Good day to you, and do pass along my condolences to the grieving parents. Have you not a shred of honor or compassion in that spindly body? Business rival or no, the man is on death's doorstep.
After the events of that day, my father will not so easily forgive and forget. But it matters not to me. No, my love is for you as deep as the 7 seas. I beg you... Ah, sorry. That would be you. I skipped a bubble.
This is the right bubble, but I don't know. After the events of that day, my father will not so easily forgive and forget. But it matters not to me. No, my love for you is as deep as the 7 seas. I beg of you, my lady, may I have this dance? Right. From Costa del Sol.
And she's happy to see us. Rena, Ladonia, what a lovely surprise. Are you here for the ball, perchance?
Not quite.
Heavens, the poor inspector!
Well, if it isn't the Lapis Maiden in the flesh. What say you bid farewell to preening fops and scruffy adventurers, and share a dance with a cultured gentleman befitting your great beauty?
Why, it would be my pleasure and honor both, my lord.
But do something about the mutton chops.
Provided you first provide my good friend Lena and Redonia a bottle of the twice distilled water that they seek.
You know these women? If that is the price you would set, then so be it. Take it. It's barely worth its weight in gill anyway. Now, shall we, Miss Arabella?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I knew Hildy to be a worthy rival, but to think he was this beloved by so many. Clearly, this realm would deeply mourn his loss. Maybe. Quickly, Rena, Ladonia, let us deliver these goods while there's still time to save him.
Okie dokie. And we want to go back this way. Hi, Jinlins.
Hi, Jinlins.
Do you even know
Who's he
Jinlins?
again? Who's he again?
Jinlins is my paladin trainer.
Ah, your paladin pal.
He's my pally. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Sorry.
There's nothing to be sorry about.
Okay, Jillian, we got everything you asked for. I trust the two of you won't dare come back empty-handed. One
Probably
oversoul rag.
Tattered cloth taken from the raiment of a powerful wraith.
And twice distilled water.
A second pass through an alembic has removed nearly all the impurities once contained in this water.
Bloody brilliant. I'd take you over my muscle-headed half-wit of a husband any day. Note, he doesn't even flinch.
No, he doesn't.
Now, stand back and let me show you some real Manderville home cooking. Thal, ya bloody bugger, guide my skillet!
Still only normal quality, though.
That should stop the spread. Now, it's up to Hildy to flush what's left out of his system. Don't you worry, he's my son, after all. I reckon he'll got some fight left in him.
Look who I found. She was slumbering obliviously in a rubbish-strewn corner of Pearl Lane.
Boy, that nap felt good.
Yes, I'm sure it did. Ladonia, Rena, word has it that Ellie has been sighted at the Sildin ruins. We must go there with all haste.
You done well, by my dear boy today. Don't worry, I'll handle things from here. There's a nice warm bed for him, and I think I know a few specialists who might know a thing or two about his condition. What in the
Don't
seven
worry,
hells?
he's had this condition before.
Yes. What in the seven hells are you standing around for? The future of Ul'dah is at stake.
Ladonia, Rena, my strength is yours as well. For Ul'dah, and for our friend Hildy. Your rival.
You remind me of my husband. What with ye having more muscles than sense, and if you're so keen on making yourself useful, why don't you run down to the markets and bring me some fire crystals? Keeping my dear boy warm is the key to fighting off the zombification. Let's see, I believe 20 crates or so should suffice.
You know, that's enough for a minor summoning. I am a warrior, not a... yes, my lady.
Sorry, Greg, not getting out of this one.
The market board. I say, Enkidu, the burden we must bear simply to secure my long-awaited final confrontation with Ladonia and Rena. That said, the events of today have given me cause to reflect. Ladonia and Rena and Hildy. Oh, to be blessed with such veritable legions of friends tried and true. But alas, not I. No, only one true friend have I ever known, and she is long lost to me. You're a fine bird, and have given me great comfort in my travels. But you will never be Enkidu, my one and true companion. Oh, my friend, were you here with me, even Rena and Ladonia could not stand against our combined might. Oh, Enkidu, wherever you may wander, here are my words and return here to my side. Enkidu, do you hear me? Enkidu! Egots! What was that flash from the heavens? Nearly blinded me, and what? The crystals! Where have they gone? I
Fancy
didn't
meeting
think-
you here, old
I
friend.
Didn't think I was going to be prophetic.
You ain't completely forgotten about this?
Yes! That voice. Could it be? My faithful companion. Why must you always make me wait so?
And unfortunately, we will have to stop here because it is that time.
Oh boy, is it ever.
Ah. So next week, we will finish up the Mandeville quest.
Yes.
I sense a trial in our future. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one is a bit longer and less as comedic as most of the Hildebrand chain, which is probably for the best. But we are getting
Well, they were
towards...
coming to their conclusion.
Yeah, we're coming to the pinnacle of the plot. Or something like that. Yeah.
You and Nashu should go on the road.
Woohoo! With that said, we will be on the next weekend. We have no weekday stream because we've got nothing to stream because we've actually finally gotten through all the content. Yay! Or at least the current content. Till January. Beginning of January is when the next content patch drops. And it's going to be a doozy. So definitely come along with that if you can. Until then, again, we'll be back Saturday starting at 9:30 for more Palace of the Dead. And then
Woohoo!
Sunday for more fun with the Zombie Brand, who's still looking a bit green there on the floor.
Yeah.
Sorry, LD.
He needs those fire crystals.
Just a little. Until then, you all have a great evening. Be safe. Be well. Hope to see you next weekend.
Yes, everyone have a good week.
Good night, all.
Good night.